Ruth Rendell's thriller, A Fatal Inversion, starts tomorrow, 9:05 on BBC One.
Welcome back to Wembley. Not a very nice day for cup final, I'm afraid, but we're hoping for a great match, and this man's hoping for a great upset win for Sunderland. Steve CRAM, of course. How long have you been a Sunderland supporter now, then?
Since I was 6 years old. What do you mean an upset? Some of us are expecting us to win, you know.
You're not really. Are you expecting to win?
Well, no, they're not expecting to win. I mean, everybody's hopeful, obviously. I think you have to be realistic and say that if Liverpool turn it on the day, then we're struggling. I mean, you know, undoubtedly Liverpool are still a very, very good side, despite not having been particularly successful this year. But it's, you know, all the football cliches, you know, it's a one-off game, and the conditions today, I think, could have a big effect. I think Graham Kelly said there. That probably helped us. John Barnes not playing. There's a few things going in our favour.
The right dressing room, and it's raining.
Yeah,
there
have been a lot of good omens about
Yeah.
this cup. You know, if you talk to people up in the northeast about the last cup run, and this, you know, they come out. I mean, I was with some of the players from '73 last night actually, and they come up with a lot of coincidences about things which happened back then, happening now. But I think you'll always find that when you only go once every 20 years, you know, you can come up with lots of reasons why the omens are good.
100% record as well.
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
You've got a picture there. Hold that up to that camera there, if you will, and
this was
tell
the
us
last
about it.
time
Keep it there.
that Sunderland won the cup. There's a little story to this. I'm a
and you
12-year-old,
yeah.
this one here.
Right.
And 3 or 4 of the players went on these social evenings around the northeast, and 3 or 4 of them came to a social club in Hebburn where I lived, and got rather the worse for wear, and the cup was taken into police custody. And my father was a police officer at the time, and he came in from night shift and said, "Quick, get your clothes on, let's get down to the police station, the cup's there."
Yeah.
Had our photographs taken with it, and because I couldn't get to the final, but that was next best thing. So I'm hoping that we can repeat that process maybe on Monday.
Terrific. Were you a runner then? Were you an athlete at
I
that
just
age?
started, yeah, just started running. My brother, who's next to me in the photograph, he was running as well, but we literally just started.
Yeah. What's the state of play now as far as your athletics is concerned? You're still the world mile record holder. 3:46.32, is it?
There's 10 out of 10.
There you are. You
and they say you don't know much about sport.
How cruel.
How unkind. No, yes, I am. I mean, not that necessarily counts for much, but I've been out for 5 months during the winter, which hasn't been a great time, but I've been training for about 5 weeks now, and things are going very well. I've been quite encouraged how well things have gone. So, you know, fingers crossed, there's a few weeks to go before the trials, and see what happens.
Give you a spur, wouldn't it, if Sunderland were to win today?
This would be great. I'm not thinking about athletics today, but I could be doing a couple of laps of honour if they do.
Who of the players do you particularly like, the Sunderland players?
I think it's been a little bit harsh, obviously, on John Kay getting injured, and Paul Hardiman, who's had a very, very good season, probably one of his best seasons. I think he must be really upset for not playing. But, you know, Malcolm Crosby's picked a side which we think will do very, very well. I think one of the reasons probably why he left Hardiman out was he's not the quickest of our players, and he probably feels that with the likes of McManaman playing that we maybe want a little bit of pace at the back.
Yes.
But I'm pleased to see Gary Hours in. I think you know, he's been a great player for us over the last 2 or 3 years, and missed most of the season with an injury, got back a few games before the end of the season, and he loved this pitch because he runs all day long, and although he's playing at full back, don't be surprised to see him in the other penalty area.
And of course John Burns had a marvellous time for Sunderland. A steal from Brighton.
Yeah, I think everyone's obviously going to be watching Bernie today. I mean, he's scored in every round and there's a lot of pressure on him, but I think the other players can hopefully help to take a little bit of pressure off him. Again, he'll like Wembley because he likes a little bit of time, and when he gets the ball into his feet, then he can do all sorts. You know, he's our equivalent of John Barnes, really.
Great. Well, enjoy your day, win or lose.
We will, don't worry.
Yeah, thanks for being with us, Steve. Right, let's continue our story, our look back, really, on the story of the road to Wembley this year. And now it's round 5.
The preface to round 5 was a pastoral setting for one Vincent Jones, countryman and dog lover, also known as Vinny, a West London hard man whose bite is sometimes as bad as his bark. This was Chelsea against Sheffield United. 4 seconds gone, and no, the referee was not joking. The name V. Jones noted for the 6th time in the season. Nevertheless, it ended with Chelsea's name in the 6th round draw.
Stewart. And it's Graham Stewart with a great run for Chelsea, and he scores!
Norwich, at home to Notts County, had 18-year-old Chris Sutton in the starting lineup for only the second time. He responded with 2 goals, a tap-in and a dive-in. Cup competitions always bring out the positive side of Brian Clough. Against Bristol City, Clough Jr. caught the mood. He'd already scored to make it 2-0, then this.
And Pearce joining the attack. Taking it on to Clough. And there goes Pearce. Where's his right foot? There it is.
Glenn Hoddle's return to English football and his embellishment of principles established by Ossie Ardiles earned Swindon many admirers and a live television date with Aston Villa.
This is Parker, and now it's Froggatt. And there's the shot, and what a goal by the 18-year-old.
At Liverpool, Phil Neal's season was seldom complete without honours, but winning the FA Cup escaped him. So, as manager of 3rd Division Bolton, a 5th-round tie against Southampton that went to a replay stoked unfulfilled ambition.
And Ruddock, oh, and a cracking shot! And Julian Darby, the only Bolton-born player in the side, has surely taken Bolton Wanderers into round 6. 2 minutes of stoppage time has been allowed. Team that beat Manchester United is the one hope left. Oh, there is! Barry Horn. And up comes Ruddock, looking for the back flick. But he hasn't got any of those right. Horn, the crowd encouraging him to have another go, and he does!
Jim Smith's Portsmouth also needed pumping up for a replay. Middlesbrough had the home crowd, but the night belonged to Pompey and to Darren Anderton.
Anderton has got the wrong side of Moen. Moen is now back. Anderton's beaten him. Oh! That's a wonderful goal by Clark. Neal. Through the middle for Powell. Anderton!
Liverpool, meanwhile, were still finding it hard to look like well-organised favourites in a diminishing field. At Ipswich, John Walk's header was only inches from removing the need for a replay. Frustration for Walk against his former teammates. At Anfield, 1-1 after 90 minutes, then extra time.
This is Jason Dazelle. Mickey Stockwell. Dazelle's through the middle, good ball. Jason Dazelle on here for Ipswich. Grobbelaar saves Dazelle. It's 2-1. Would you believe it? They're in front. It's Mulby. Oh, a belter. An absolute belter from Jan Mulby. It's 2-2. McManaman. Rosenthal. McManaman. And they're in front. 3-2 Liverpool.
Sunderland, with Malcolm Crosby still only caretaker manager, continued to approach Wembley without anyone noticing. Even at home to unhappy West Ham, they had to survive being a goal down. Thanks to a rebound here, a deflection there, and a toe end when it mattered, John Byrne earned them a second chance. Byrne scored twice more at Upton Park, but with the scores level, 2 unsung heroes emerged.
Burns flick on to Rush, who's got it out to young Kieran Brady. Faced by Julian Dix. Left foot cross, Burned, Rush! 3-2 Sunderland, David Rush. Breaker's come up from the back again, here he is. Took it in his stride well, Tim Breaker. Oh, and another fabulous save from Tony Norman. Well, he's stopping everything at the moment. Brilliant saves. Look at that.
Story of the 5th round. I'm told that the Liverpool squad are just a mile or so away from the ground now. They'll be here very shortly. And better news too about the weather. The rain has actually stopped now. And you can see some boys out there playing. There'll be a little five-a-side match here, which is to do with the charity this year, Football Against Multiple Sclerosis. These boys have reached the final of this competition, under 14-year-olds, so they're doing their stuff in a good cause and have been for the last few months. Now we've got some more guests for you to meet here, and now it's David Mellow, the Minister for Heritage, with Bob Wilson.
David Mellow, the only disappointment for you and the boys probably is that Chelsea aren't here.
Well, it is. I mean, I think we were 1-0 up at Sunderland and only 45 minutes to go and blew it. But then I'm afraid Chelsea fans are used to that. But, you know, Sunderland have done very well. They played with great spirit. Byrne particularly has, you know, really done the business for them in every round. So I'm now hoping they'll play well today, because all of us, I think, who aren't passionate either for Liverpool or Sunderland just want a great game and a great advertisement for football.
But you do watch a lot of football, we all know that. You must see that the First Division side and Liverpool, if they really play, are probably going to be superior.
Yes, I mean, that must be the expectation. Although I think Wembley's a great leveller. I was reading in one of the papers coming up that, you know, columnists saying, well, Liverpool have always got a bit of a glass jaw. And I've certainly seen Liverpool lose some games that they expected to win. I remember Wimbledon's triumph just a few years ago against Liverpool. They were the underdogs. So I don't think, you know, this game is over until that final whistle goes. But what we want is an entertaining game. Let's face it, the conditions are pretty awful. I just hope that the players will be able to get on top of the wet and really give us some great entertainment. I want to be shouting my head off in the 85th minute, not knowing who's won.
But you're going to go for Sunderland, or hoping Sunderland. What about the boys?
I want Sunderland to win.
You want Sunderland?
Me too.
You too, right.
And I'm going to be strictly neutral, because I think Liverpool have been wonderful advertisements for football down the years.
Great ambassadors, haven't they?
Whenever I go to Anfield, I think what a wonderful, warm relationship they have, you know, all people together. And I've just seen John Smith, the last person I saw, Sir John Smith, before coming out here. So let it not be said I'm hoping for Liverpool to do badly. I'd like to see a great game, and may the best side win.
David, thank you. Thank you, boys. Enjoy it.
We certainly will.
David Mellow.